I was just saying here. No, I'm not saying it now.
It's recording now.
It's recording now. Sweet as. It's a Friday night for us anyway. Welcome to Talking Jits and Giggles. I am not going to say what episode it is because I've forgotten.
16.
Which I didn't want to know. Which is a good thing.
She was only 16.
Which is a good thing. It means that we've been doing it now and we want to keep doing this. So, guys, for the guys that are listening and girls that are listening, can you please make sure, like, we want to hear your stories. So, you know, if you're interested in coming on and just, I don't care what belt you are or what you want to do. We just want to hear stories about jiu-jitsu within New Zealand, talk shit for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. And that's what we're here for. So please make sure that you hit us up, club mates, and you think, oh man, it'd be really cool to come on. That's what we want. You know, we want to just talk to the average Joe Blow in New Zealand or New Zealanders that are doing jiu-jitsu. It doesn't have to be in New Zealand, but just New Zealanders in jiu-jitsu in general. Okay, saying that, we would like to take a plug for Neanderthal.co.nz. We've also got MaviaFightwear.com.
.co.nz, isn't it?
What?
Is it .co.nz or .com?
I don't know. Is it .co.nz? Look, you guys are smart. Look it up. .co.nz.
Google. Jamie, bring it up.
I've had 4 wines and a few beers already, so look, that's what I'm saying. It's all about just relaxing.
So cultured.
We've got the tattoo place.
Burning Needles Tattoos.
Burning Needles Tattoos.
You've done that one a few times now too.
Oh look, I forgot. I don't know. I'm shocking.
It is.
I'm shocking with
Mavia.com.
What?
Mavia.com.
Okay, Mavia.com. Look, technology.
Woohoo!
I'm shocking, man. I don't remember that kind of stuff. I'm bad enough with names. It takes me ages to remember names. But anyway, getting back, open palm massage therapy. If you're in Christchurch, I highly recommend it. I'm heading there tomorrow. It's freaking awesome for your body after, you know, a week full of jiu-jitsu and getting bent like a pretzel. Ro and Jerry do an awesome job. So please hit up those guys. And also, if you need any building done in Christchurch, this man down here, the man we're talking to tonight, Mr. Dan Reveley, he is the man. If you need building done in Christchurch, renovations, new builds, any kind of fucking building with a hammer, this man's the one. So make sure you fucking hit him up. Dan, fucking plug yourself, brother. What's your fucking number, mate?
Don't plug yourself.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, I'll leave the plug-in until later off camera.
Oh, whoa. But, you know, let's be honest. This is an opportunity for you to hit yourself out there. Like, honestly, you got some building. If you need building done at home, oh, seriously,
yeah.
what's your number?
My number, I'm 021-101-2355, and I do free quotes, and been around the block, been in the game for quite a while, LBP, and just a one-man band, and just like to do jobs fitting to that, pretty much. But yeah, done all sorts of stuff. So
straight up, there you go. Look,
wait, tell us what else you've done then.
Oh shit, here we go. We're into it. Fuck. Not even holding back. We're into it. Tell us all about yourself, mate.
Dan, push the ball rolling. We might as well get into it.
Righto. And which question am I answering in this relation to? Sorry.
Jiu-jitsu, man.
Jiu-jitsu now. Right, cool. On to the jiu-jitsu.
Just you in general. Who are you?
Right. I'm me. Basically, I've done my living and try and do it through my children now. But I used to try and fight a bit back in the day, and that. So I'm actually quite late to the party for jiu-jitsu, I feel. I should have given it a bit more attention a long time ago. But yeah, it's always been the end game. Anyway, for jiu-jitsu, I knew it was something that I could definitely spend some time working on. That's for sure. So
what did you start doing then? What did you do before jiu-jitsu? You said you fought a bit?
Yeah. My first taste at fighting was in boxing, amateur boxing, back in the teenage years.
Did you? Who fought?
I fought Craig Cobbers.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Yeah, I
the
had
old
a
Crichton Cobbers, the old
crime. Yeah.
druggies, eh?
Whoa.
They were coming
Well,
out of
let's be
the
honest.
woodwork.
If you were around in the day of the earthquakes, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. All the buildings falling down, and here's a stack of plants on the top of Crichton Cobbers.
Yeah. It was the flat next door, that little flat that was sort of like joint on, not quite joint on. Yeah.
Yeah.
The roof came off. There's all these plants hanging out.
Anyway,
But
so
yeah,
you boxed for Crichton.
Sorry, we regressed from that one. Okay, move on.
What?
Sorry, I get distracted easy too. But actually, my first real taste, I suppose, was my mum's a black belt 2nd degree in Chinese kung fu with like pressure point systems and things like that. So yeah, she used to waste me a lot as a child.
Submit you.
Yeah, no, she got me into it for a couple of years, and then I went to live with my dad and got into team sports and that. So I played rugby in there all the way through to Colts. But yeah, I boxed all through my teenage years, undefeated, amateur record. Woo!
Nice.
And,
One fight?
eh?
One fight?
There's a couple. There's a few because it's tournament style, most of them. So you don't usually have at least 2 fights on the same day. So that was all good. But yeah, I wasted myself at rugby, sort of around the Colts mark, I think it was 21, and my shoulders went to crap for ages. So I sat on the couch and discovered UFC, and then made my big plan to return to the gym once my shoulders were better. And so yeah, I started shopping around, and ended up under the tutelage of Kerry Sagers, and there I was for a good 5 years, I think, under Kerry. If anyone that doesn't know Kerry Sagers, he's a 3rd dan judo black belt, also a karate goju-ryu black belt, and a sumo champ, and countless other things.
And he can do the splits. He can do the splits.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Look, let's be honest. Kerry's the man. He's such a cool dude.
He's a big pioneer. Big pioneer.
Yeah, he's a pioneer, mate, and all sorts. And he's got that famous video of a judo dude tapping a Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh, Marcelo, yeah. He choked him inside his own guard too, which is
Ezekiel choke.
Asleep.
I was there. Was that our comp? Mine and Bryan's.
Was it?
That our comp?
I was scoring, and I was like, he's got to. Oh.
Oh yeah, he'd probably be another good one to get on, man. He's got some stories. I've heard a lot of them over the years being under his tutelage. Yeah, we still catch up now. We're still good friends. Watched the UFC with him last weekend actually, and that. So yeah, like a lot of that old crew, we still try and touch base. Some of us sort of see each other around the gyms now, still different trainings and things. Taking the kids there, and they're still trying to kickbox or something. And that, back on track.
Yep.
Around 2010, I think I first had my hand at a modified Thai fight, which I ended up winning by points. So that was considering I'd never kicked before, that was pretty good. And then went on, I think I'm 4-0 in Thai. But it was all just a warm up to try and get into MMA. And yeah, so really lacking on the grappling when I first started in MMA, and dove straight into the deep end. But my very first fight actually won by submission. I just learnt the Kataguruma, which is the head and arm choke. I did it from a mount, but I think we were both more exhausted than anything because I didn't know too much about submissions back then.
Squeeze!
Yes,
I mean, so you started with because Kerry and Aaron, they started UMAP, didn't they?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so they started
Aaron
UMAP
Moyer
in Christchurch, and that's why I say that it was pretty cool because those guys were really trying to push MMA in Christchurch at the time. Belford Terrace, I think it's Belford Terrace, the old nightclub there, or Belford Row or some shit it was.
Oh,
Bedford Row. Belford Terrace was our old gym.
Bedford. Sorry, there you go. Bedford Row. They were pushing a lot of fights and that kind of through there with, I remember Forrest fighting there and yourself fighting
Legends.
there. So it was like they were part of the group that were trying to push MMA, and obviously you were training through those guys at the time.
I was a little bit late to the party with that too. So yeah, those like Forrest and that are kind of like the generation before me as well. Like they were already quite established when I was sort of just getting my foot in the door there. but yeah, it was Kerry that did introduce me to all that. Got to meet like Matt Toller and that, and then yeah, he liked the way I fight too, so he'd keep getting us down to Dunedin. A lot of fights in Dunedin, a lot of good nights out in Dunedin. It's a good place.
How many fights you have?
I've had 12 in the cage, 6 and 6. So at the start I was going quite well, and then I got hit with I got hit with some heavy grapplers and that sort of woke me up a bit. So I just kept chipping away at it. But yeah, had a couple of unlucky losses as well. Pretty close fights, but good performances, I think.
One of those ones you never want to leave it to the ref, do you? You want to you always want to finish it.
It's all good. There was a thing. I always went out to try and finish it. There wasn't too many times that either I didn't finish someone or someone didn't finish me. It was usually submission. I think a lot of my submissions were being choked. I think just bad head position, I think, on my part, inexperience and things like that. So and that, yeah, only got dropped once. That was by Matt Vale, who's a current.
Matt Vale, he's awesome.
Matt Vale, current 5-time
XFC
champ, something like that. Anyway, it's not that big a deal.
Because but you have fought some pretty good guys though over your time.
Yeah, I've had my ass handed to me by some pretty good guys, Bogan and Robert Dean as well.
Some big kids.
Yeah, and they even bigger once you actually get in there. You're like, hold on a minute, you didn't look this big yesterday at weigh-in.
What weight class were you fighting?
Welterweight, 77. So yeah, you won't see me.
It's broken to 77.
Back then he might have been.
His arms are huge.
Has got down to 77 before, yeah.
Sheesh.
And same with Rob Dean. I think that we had a catchweight fight of 81, but we were both well under because we were both trying to. That was when we were both trying to make it down to welterweight to be competitive, you know. Yeah.
And is it just one of those things for you, Dan? Like, I mean, for you at that time, it was just like, man, I'll put my hand up. Sweet as, I'll fight anyone. I'll just jump in and I'll give it what I've got to go for it. It was quite funny because I worked with a Katie Easterbrook, and she's oh man, this was years ago. Oh my mate, he does MMA. He did this and these, you know, and then there's like, what's his name? Was it Reveley? Dan Reveley. It's like, oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, no. Before, obviously, this is before when you were training with Gary. Yeah, it was like, yeah, because I've actually seen a few of your fights, and there was always. Did you always find like, because like you say, I always found like when you fought someone that was more your style back then, which was that stand-up fight, it was a more all-in brawl, but you did find it a wee bit harder when it come to those guys that were a wee bit more ground orientated.
Yeah, I kind of did that to myself. I didn't allow myself enough time to develop, and was always eager to jump in, and was basically using my years of rugby to take people down, and did pretty well with the takedowns early on actually. But then again, I guess it's the inexperience with wrestling too that sort of helped me out there.
So what after was it you did judo? Did you do that after you done MMA or during?
During, yeah. Kerry used to like to change things up. Man, he was one coach that always kept us ready as well, because he was constantly changing stuff on us. Some days he'd like set things for us to do, and then wait till we're absolutely knackered, and then absolutely beat the crap out of us at the end of it, sort of thing.
Cobra Kai.
But then other days he wouldn't wait till we're tired and would still kick the crap out of us. You know, this is a guy who's like in his 50s.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, no, a lot to attribute to that man. He was sort of my first taste of grappling. He had got a pretty nice mixed grappling style especially for a judo player. He's really good on the ground, and also likes to do no-gi and translate his judo to no-gi as well. So I used to hate judo. Couldn't get the throws, but once he started showing me the reversals, that was more what I took to. Was getting, you know, trying to like reverse the throw. rather than put,
yeah.
get in that position. I didn't quite have the right mechanics, too tight.
Yeah, no, Kerry's good at that. Like he's a guy that would always put his hand up. When like back in the day when we were running our comps, he was like the first. We'd do grappling comps, but he would be the first judo guy to go. Yep, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go. Even though he would again be fighting in the open class when he was obviously a senior, he would be like just jumping in. Yep, sweet as I'm in it. Fucking no worries.
That just reminded me actually of a couple of fights because you're saying he used to put on the UMAF events. So the one that the hall when you brought in at Roy Stokes.
You fought on that one, I remember it.
Yep. And it was this guy from Bromley Jiu Jitsu. And Kerry didn't tell me that he missed weight by 8 kgs. and set me in there on him anyway. And then afterwards I found out and he's like, I'm like, mate, why'd you do that? That guy's an animal. And he's like, yeah, but you bit him. You knocked him out. It's all good. I'm like, but he could have smashed me, And he's like, but then he's like, nah, I didn't tell you because, it shouldn't matter, It shouldn't matter. Just, you've been training with guys that are heavier and that, and blah blah blah, So he was the one that got it in my head that it shouldn't matter, and so he was pretty keen with my attitude of, yep, I'll jump in there, because it was kind of him too, He's sort of and it would push me further as well.
Do you reckon that's translated to grappling as well? No, like you fight anybody grappling wheels as well?
to be honest, I still find myself doing a lot of Kerry-ish things on the mat. Things I definitely picked up and can't be untaught. Yeah. Wet willies, fingers in the air. I remember he used to get me in bloody Kizakatami and stroke my forehead and nipple gripples, rib rattler. The old finger into the ribs.
You went into MMA. You've done what are some of those real memorable ones for you? Like for your MMA anyway.
Well, always going to remember my first fight. That was Wayne Knight from Timaru. So he's got his own gym these days.
Knuckles.
Knuckles Knight. Knuckles Knight. He's a good dude. So I was glad to share the cage with him. First off, man, he towered over me. I had no idea how we were the same weight class. Absolutely, just like I don't know where he puts that weight. He looked like he should be bigger. Like he was way taller than me. It didn't look like he should be able to get down that low.
Hollow.
Yeah, hollow. But I wish we had made it to the trilogy, but I lost both times. But I fought Braden Wells twice. That was quite memorable because the first time that was my first ever loss was to Braden, and he showed me where my lack of wrestling was, and then proceeded to do it again the second time we fought. I just threw up a lot more submission attempts.
I think the thing with Braden, because Braden's done jiu-jitsu with us as well, super nice guy, but very unassuming. Like he doesn't look like he is as good as he is. But I found it hard to sweep him and stuff. I was like, this isn't right. He's a white belt. I should be able to turn you over. But he had really good. It's like you. He's a really good base, and it's a super
really wrestling heavy. That's what you get from all the stable from Carl's gym at that time. They were wrestling heavy. They were their wrestling was good. And that was eventually where I went to learn to carry on my wrestling. Next after Kerry, I was actually injured for a bit, and I tried to rehab them, and then moved to Carl's gym for training partners and to try and take it a step further. But I ended up more injured than anything than being able to go through a full camp. So it just didn't really eventuate. It was just I just had lots of stuff I need to work on physically because I kept breaking, and I still am now actually. So and then the one fight that I did have with Carl was when the arm got broken, and it hasn't quite been the same since. So
I remember that. That was nasty.
two rounds. Fought 2 rounds with a broken arm. So I don't recommend it. if you know
I don't recommend it either.
If you know your arm's broken, stop.
I had 5 minutes of a broken rib, and that was good enough.
Yeah, ribs suck too. It's another thing that Kerry Kerry broke on me was.
It's because you keep getting the knuckle in there and pulling it out. Just loosening it up. What kind of injuries have you had? Like, just all up. Like, what's the worst injury? Just go for the worst one and then work your way down. We've got a while, so just.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, so am I. Because it's going to take a while.
No, I think the arm in terms of recovery time has to be the worst in terms of just trauma still to the site, still trying to break it down. So just been actively rehabbing that.
Through physio as well, or just all by yourself?
By myself now, but yeah, it was an extensive, long physio, hand therapist, all sorts of shit. So just to rebuild it. The muscle's still separated as well and never rejoined properly back over the bone. So lots of things get tight, and that even just on a day to day. And that, so yeah, it's another shout out to Jerry and Ro, constantly, putting me under pain to get me moving properly still. And yeah, I just had series of things that weren't looked after. For instance, I've just had both knees done. And one of them was probably from, back when I was back before I'd even jumped in the cage. I think I'd done it and carried on, and then it's just managed to deteriorate.
What kind of surgery? Like replacement or just fixing?
No, just keyhole, just trimming, just lots of tears.
Manscaping.
Yeah, lots of just trimming it back, mate.
Making it
look bigger.
Glove glasses.
Exactly.
So, and the one thing, look, you did MMA for a long time, and you wanted to get into that. Obviously, you're getting to a point in your life where, look, injuries are just taking too much of a toll.
Body won't let me.
Yeah, wouldn't let you. But you've hit into, and then now focusing on jiu-jitsu and that kind of stuff. But when you were talking about your knees, people don't actually realize you had both knees done at the same time. Yeah. So,
one recovery time.
Yeah, one recovery time. So, it's like
sounds good in theory.
When Bryan talks about your injuries, it's an arm, it's a shoulder, it's both knees.
Yeah.
But you're then back at training, and you're coming back to training like as soon as you can actually get some kind of mobility in it, even if you shouldn't be.
I've had time off with some injuries and didn't spend it wisely. So I think that's what makes me keep paying for it. So now it's okay. I realize I've got to stay moving, or I'm going to lose it.
Well, I find that's the difference between like the older days of training and now. Like you said, you get an injury, but you just keep on training. Oh yeah, man. I'll strap it and I'll carry on. But now recovery is such a massive thing. It's diet, it's rehab, it's bloody yoga, it's tying yourself backwards and knots. Get yourself
back on the mat, you fucking bunch of pussies.
But that's the attitude that fucks your knees up. They both get replaced.
Am I still at training though?
Yes, you're consistently at training.
I'm consistently at training, even though my leg keeps giving way.
You've to unlock the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's pretty cool though. Like, you're a staple. Let's be honest, you're a staple at the club. You're one of those people, whether it's at your own club or at a different gym or whatever. You're one of those people who just loves jiu-jitsu or loves grappling in general. You always want to better yourself. So you've come out of your MMA. I remember you come to Carl's, and then we sat down and we were just like, oh look, I think I may need to stop doing MMA. Just my body's not handling anymore. And then from that point onwards, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to do jiu-jitsu. But not just that, you were into, obviously, you're doing your wrestling, your no-gi stuff, your bits and pieces.
Working, kids, wife.
Yeah. More kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, you come to, you talked about CFC before and coming to Carl Weber. Like, tell us a wee bit about that kind of stuff. You at CFC, Carl Weber, and then you just thought, shit, like I can't just do it anymore after your injury.
Yeah, it was the arm. It was the big one, and I did actually try and get back into Carl's a couple of times too, to stay moving and things, but it was taking quite a long time, and then needed a second surgery So I think with the massive weakening, yeah, it just put me off being that sore all the time.
Hey, magic.
Thanks. Carry on. He just passed it to me.
Yeah.
Don't drink my beer. Sorry.
Hold on. I'm getting FOMO. Just give me a sec.
Yeah, what?
FOMO. What'd you call me? Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Fear of missing out. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what's that?
The interview went really well, and then Dan just left.
Dan just left. That's it. Fuck you, Dan. You just left us.
And then he reappeared.
Oh.
You like that? Oh, sorry, that was bad, eh? I've been working on my dad jokes too, so it's no excuse for
Yeah, we can tell.
I like it. I'm laughing, man.
Yeah, I know you've
Sorry,
got the same.
my kids are old now, so it's like, I don't understand.
Nah, I couldn't get beer, but I got to settle for one of these.
Hey,
Oh,
what are you doing in Canada, man?
I know, it's rough, isn't it?
oh, it's really rough. That's my favorite drink, especially with lime.
Throw it to
Sushi
Hayden
dry
through
with
the
lime.
computer.
Sorry,
Cheers.
guys, we're talking about alcohol here. It's not good enough. We need to talk about jiu-jitsu more.
Yeah, so the second surgery in your arm when you're at Carl's.
Oh right, yeah. So I was still trying to go in, and he was still making me do lunges and all sorts of shit to keep, try and stay in some sort of shape. But I did lose a lot of strength and motivation and shape with the whole arm. And by the time I was good enough to come back, it was still really weak. I'd like submit myself trying to Kimura someone just because of the pressure on the bone and stuff. So yeah, it was quite long-winded.
Oh, here's the missus bringing me a new beer.
So what?
Hey, shout out to Wendy.
Shout out to Wendy.
So you did welterweight for MMA.
Yeah, welterweight for me.
And then after the injury and that, because everyone always gives me shit because I talk about people's weights. You fluctuated quite a bit up and down.
Yeah.
So was it pretty bad, or you were comfortable, or you just?
Well, in the words of
Hang on. I thought we were fucking talking about jiu-jitsu.
We are.
You went off to a tangent, man.
He just wanted to crack at me being a thick boy at Groundworx now.
I was waiting for that after.
I used to walk around about, I don't know, like 88, I think.
Yeah.
88 to 90 if I was slack, and now I walk around about 97.
Oh, that's right, bro. I'm with you.
Yeah, but did that make it harder, you think, coming back with the injuries as well?
Oh, big time. Yeah, definitely carrying extra weight.
See,
for sure.
I was getting to something.
I like how you segued that. Good segue, Bryan.
Yeah, thanks. I'm a real good back peddler.
Is that from pushing shit up creek?
It's from living in the gutter and trying to get out all the time.
He's trying to make up for not inviting me to his 40th birthday. He's waiting 2 weeks out from it.
I didn't get invited either.
I've been booked a place.
You were in there training this week. You were in there training this week. He goes,
no.
I'm 40 in 2 weeks. I was like, yeah, when's that? I was like, oh, yeah, sweet. I'm going away. Oh, thanks for inviting me. Yeah.
I'll be there.
Not only that, I'm family, but I don't even know about what he's doing. He's waiting until I made other plans.
Should just know.
Were you just trying to make sure that he remembered the date?
Yeah. And then I asked him, when's my birthday? And he's like,
so there's that backpedaling again.
With M.
Every year.
every year, god damn it.
So
Anyway.
Second surgery on the arm, back into training.
Still strengthening up the arm, still Kimura'ing myself, trying to put Kimuras on. Actually, I tend to injure myself quite a lot trying to put Kimuras on, I find.
You injure yourself in general by trying to do shit.
I just injury prone, I think, just accident prone. But yeah, so after trying to get back into that, like you said, I went and had a word to Hayden. I just said, maybe this is the time that I finally, needed. All these times I probably should have been in between camps, hard on the jiu-jitsu mat, but also it was hard to add that on to being hard on the MMA mat as well.
So you came and told me as well, you're like, oh, I'm strictly jiu-jitsu. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. Because you told me so many times, I was like, fuck off you are.
So no, trust me. So I used to absolutely hate the gi, and you guys have made me love it from hanging me in it countless times. So
no, but it's pretty.
The way, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Like, cause you I mean, let's be honest. you can't do MMA for your whole life.
Nah.
So,
yeah,
you
definitely
can train it and you can teach people, but not many people can go from that direction from actually doing it to teaching people their whole lives. It's very minimal because of the amount of people there are. But you gone, okay, I can't do it, but I still want to be able to do something. And then you've gone, okay, I want to do jiu-jitsu because this is part of the side that, hey, I can't kick myself in the head, get kicked in the head and punched in the head my whole life either.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty cool. So I mean, how long have you been doing? If we had to look at it, like how old are you now? So how long have you been in grappling in general, and MMA?
I think my first MMA fight was 2012. I've got the trophies here somewhere for reference.
So
Are you in your house?
My office is actually separate from the house, so no.
Oh.
I am on my
technically,
yeah, I am still on my property in case law enforcement's asking. Yeah.
So let's say 2012. Okay, it's 2020. You've been doing MMA grappling for 8 years. You're on your blue belt now.
Yes.
For Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you've taken it up. You've gone and thought, fuck yeah, I want to do this over the last year, which has been awesome because, for me to watch you go from, and I say this to anyone that comes from MMA, because you can do MMA and Jiu-Jitsu, but to do Jiu-Jitsu and Jiu-Jitsu it's totally different.
Yeah,
and
big time.
Yep, when you're getting punched and kicked Jiu-Jitsu, yep, you've got to really change that aspect of how you're doing it, and vice versa. When you
I had to actually get things to fill the gaps. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't strike anymore. It used to be strike, punch, punch, pass. Or,
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, no.
I can't do that.
Even now, like we do deep half on you, or I do deep half on someone who does MMA. I'm like, I'm dead. If this is an MMA fight, I'd literally be dead. I'm fucking, this hand's under your leg, and this one's under this leg. My face is right there. So
You're having a good time.
yeah. Someone is.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you got your blue belt when, Dan?
So you gave me my blue belt. Was it?
I don't
I was
know, you
away.
tell me.
It was 2018. I think. I was away.
No. Yeah. Same time as Taylor.
Yeah, I got a picture there.
Nah, I'm just trying to think. It must have been before my knee surgery because
Jesus
I remember
Christ, is it that fucking? You can't even remember your blue belt.
I remember getting smashed. No, because remember my knee went out again while I was rolling with John.
Yep, and I told you harden up and keep going.
Yeah, harden up and keep going.
Yeah.
It seems to be all I get told. I break something and people were just like, "Keep going."
And the going gets tough. Reveley keeps going.
Oh,
So,
look, it was last year. You got your. I think it was last year. You got your. It was last year. You got.
Yeah, it was last year. It was about mid last year, I think.
Yeah, but the thing for me is not only that. You. I mean, you're an old head. Okay, so you're helping the young fellas come through and girls and that come through and helping them. You're helping the kids. You help me train the kids, which is awesome. Which must be another awesome feeling.
July 2019.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
Which must be pretty awesome for you too, because I mean, you've got 3 boys now. Okay.
Holy fuck! It was exactly a year ago. It was exactly 1 year today.
Was it? Hey, fucking 1 year. You've got 3 boys in the sense that you're a mixed family. One's yours, but you've got obviously 2 other boys that you raise, as well as one on the way.
Couple months, yeah.
But to have one of those little ninjas out there that loving jiu-jitsu, must be pretty awesome.
It does actually. We just got back from wrestling earlier, and I had to get him off the mat because he wanted to keep having rounds at the end. But yeah. Oh mate, he blows me away. Absolutely blows me away. And then I think it's gone to his head a little bit, and I just starting to rope him back in now. He had a bit of a spiel where thought he couldn't be touched. But I mean, like,
I just got graded. I'm a grey white now, man. I'm awesome.
Now. That's good. That might be good for him actually, because he'll be facing all the kids that have had their grey belts and grey black belts for a lot longer.
Yeah, but let's be honest though. Like, I mean, and that's part of the journey. As a white belt, he was one of the upping, for kids wise. Yes, I know there's a lot of kids that do jiu-jitsu, but for his weight and for his age and for his belt, he's good. He's really good. He does it, but not just that he's good. That you and Soph, push. Well, not push. I shouldn't say push. He wants to do other stuff. He wants to do, wrestling, no-gi grappling, gi grappling.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why he goes to different schools and different people to do that, which would be pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like when I first got him in the door with you, he'd been on Kiri's mat for the kids at the age of 4, kind of just because he kind of got a little bit of privilege, I think, because I train under Kiri and represented him, so sort of got that lifetime UMAF membership. So he's been coming to training with me. I used to hold a sparring session on a Sunday called Nomads, where anyone from any gym could come and spar. MMA. So yeah, we had a cage. It was at Tim McElroy's house at that stage. So I've had a little hand in helping build at a couple of his locations. He's moved around Christchurch before he's ended up where he is now. And so yeah, we used to hold it there, and we used to get a couple of strays come in, or like every so often someone would pop their head in. It would be good, give us another look, because at that time it was just about trying to find training partners. I think training partners should be a bit easier to find now. Like you got your solid stables and that, but yeah, back then the gym to be at was Strikeforce. That's where all the guys were. They had like 8 training partners, whereas I had 1. Or one other 4, and then the club ended up growing, so you get a couple of other guys start to get a bit handy as well. So, and that, but yeah, there's me going off topic.
Yeah,
that's right, mate. That's what it's all about.
So
there are no rules here, mate. You can go wherever you want. It's a tangent half the time.
I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So do you think, does watching you compete, does it really inspire your son, you reckon? Does that make
he's seen right from a young age. He's, Dad, I want to beat you when I'm older and take your title. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I'd lost both the title fights I'd had. So,
hey, don't learn that yet.
As a coach, for me, like we all went up to the Oceanas at the start of the year. It was pretty awesome to see. I've got kids that are competing, and then I've got like adults competing. But to actually have yourself and your son compete at the same tournament is pretty awesome. Win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. I remember we sitting up in the stands, and I think Pax was about to fight, and the couple that were next to us, their kid, that's who they were fighting. Their kids.
Yeah.
That is what jiu-jitsu for me. That is what jiu-jitsu for me is all about.
Yeah.
You sit there and you focus on your child when they're fighting, but straight after it's like, oh, that was my boy. Oh yeah, that was mine too. And that community and that connection that you have through jiu-jitsu. And then I think later on you spoke a wee bit because we went from obviously no gi and then went into the gi. So that's the kind of stuff for me that was pretty awesome. Like I find that stuff as a coach pretty wicked.
Do you find having Pax there adds a lot of pressure onto you when you compete? You're thinking, fuck, I gotta do this for me and that guy who beat me last time, and now my fucking son's watching.
Yeah, full on, man. Full on. I was like, he took away Oceania gold in one of his fights by a rear naked choke in the no-gi. Yeah. And Dad got smashed in the first round by Mark Hunt's son. He was bloody good, actually.
Caleb. Is it Caleb?
Yeah, Caleb.
But it's good for kids because obviously your dad's your first idol that you have, and it's good to see your idols lose and then carry on. Like if your idol lost and then never came back, why I play this game? I'm quitting, man. Once you lose, that's it. But it's like
true.
I said.
I'm still just trying to show him the way. It helps me helps me try and, you know, stay involved in that, which is good. But yeah, I've over the last 10 years have really like sort of shifted my lifestyle for martial arts a lot. And it's for the better, for sure. Definitely, you know, a lot happier now than I probably was 10 years ago.
So you were 10 years ago, you were all about the wins, and now it's more about just playing the game?
10 years, yeah. I suppose, yeah, when I started, it was all about sweet meeting might with might. Yeah. And it tended to work for me early on, which was good. But yeah, still, yeah, it's a lot more about longevity these days, and about also that technical stuff. I just lap it right up now. I used to not be able to concentrate on it. I think it's having a different mindset towards it. I don't think I would have been ready for jiu-jitsu as it is what I'm doing now back then anyway. You know, I probably would have been a poor student.
Yeah, it's quite interesting when you look at it though, isn't it? It's like, you know, you're 21, you're in your prime, your testosterone's fucking out there, and you want to try and just give it everything you've got. And then
bang!
As you've gone on, it's like your focus changes, and it's like I don't need to prove myself to anyone. I've done that. I've you know, again, had 12 fights, which is a huge accomplishment. Whether you win or lose, it's a massive achievement. That's 12 fights. Someone getting into the cage 12 times to give it everything they've got. Not only that, now you're getting in as a, I don't know, in your 30s yet?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. In your
33 this year. Yeah.
Okay, in your 30s now, but still you want to compete.
Yeah,
but you're competing in a situation where you're not getting smashed around in the sense of being hit, kicked, and punched, but in that thing that you want to test yourself all the time against young fellas, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds.
Absolutely smashed by the mate.
Yeah, but you're still out there going, no, I want to test myself amongst this. But then also, for me anyway, seeing you at the gym is actually passing on some of that experience. You know, for me, that's what I look for in people. It's like, it's not always about them, it's about what they can give to others.
Yeah,
you know, a young James, who's my partner's son. You know, you talk to him a wee bit around MMA and just around grappling and just around nogi and that kind of stuff a wee bit, and also some of the white belts coming through with your past experiences. You know, the kids, you know, you help me heaps with the kids. You're one of the fixtures when it comes to the instructors, when it comes to the kids, and they look up to you, and, you know, you're giving your knowledge and your expertise and helping them grow. Yeah, I just find that really awesome, to be quite honest.
I appreciate that, man. No, it's rewarding in itself, but even without the reward, just being able to, you know, for one, be on the mat while Pax is on the mat is cool, even though I got to tell him that when he's on the mat, he's the student, not my son. And you go over to that corner where there's the other coach, so he can tell you off. But yeah, like, you know, with I've really enjoyed it too, actually, and a lot more than I thought I would. Seeing the group of younger kids that started getting a bit too old for kids class, but were too young, you know, sort of like start coming through and rolling with us, and man, they've just absolutely in a short space of time, you know, and they love it, and yeah, it's good. It's good. You can tell that you're having a positive effect on them.
Scary good too.
Yeah, that's scarily good.
Honestly, I think to myself, like, you know, the two people, like, we got Kieran and Stacey that now yellow in the kids section, yellow black belts, or yellow black in their ones. But those two boys are 14 and 13 who now train pretty much full time in kids and adults.
It's amazing.
Scary.
Good to have that kind of focus that young. It's quite rare.
Oh, it's not even just their focus. They've just got no fear.
Yeah.
I said to Kieran, the other day, and to Stacey, forget about them thinking they're adults. Just do it. And then all of a sudden they are trying to rip on arm bars, flying figure fours, flying triangles, flying fucking everything. They just let loose. They got no fear. They just don't care where they end up.
I got bloody Stacey hitting me up. He's like, "Oh, what was that cool thing you just did?" I'm like, "Oh crap, what did I just do?" I'm like, "Oh shit, no, I probably shouldn't be showing you this."
The heel hook.
But, well,
it was because Jerry goes to me the other day. He goes, "Oh, I've said to Kieran that I'm not going to tap now until he actually puts it on." And now Kieran's hitting straight footlocks and heel hooks on him.
Holy shit!
Because he tried to footlock me, and I was like, "You know what you're doing?" He's like, "Oh, sorry." And I was like, "Don't say sorry. I'm the black belt. I know what you're doing, but do you know exactly how much pressure you're putting onto me here?"
Yeah, do you know what you're doing?
I'm confident, but yeah.
Oh, look, I fucking love it. I think it's unreal that the thing. But that's what I'm saying.
Those kids are great, man. Yeah.
It's like these. You've got a bunch of kids that look up to you now. Like we go to tournaments, obviously, because your son just wants to, better himself and do his thing. But these kids look up to you as well, because I can't be everywhere. Normally, I'm running from one mat to the other mat to the other. And
sure, you almost need a staff, don't you?
Yeah, and then it's just like Dan's just like, "Oh yeah." I said, "Dan, you look after this," and you're just like, "Yep, there, you're looking after those guys."
No,
how does that make you feel?
Oh, it's awesome, man. I love it. It's just I think a lot of the time I was doing that too was when I couldn't grapple away. Was it when I was off? And I was just
sometimes.
I was still there because Pax was there, and I think we even might have travelled another time just for the sake of it, just for going. I've done that too. Like even when I stopped, or wasn't having a fight, I'd still travel to watch the same people in the circuit or the same club. So it's awesome traveling with clubs, traveling with the Groundworx kids. It's awesome. We've all got to know each other so well now as well. Like you've got that competitive circuit team, and you've also got the other ones who I think are starting to think a bit more about it now. They've been there a bit longer.
Not just the kids, though. Like it's a massive thing with our kids, but the adults. I mean, you got the adults who travel and you do bits and pieces, but now the families are traveling and they're like, "Oh yeah, I want to do this," and it's good. It's pretty cool.
Make a whole weekend out of it. Plan in advance, But then again, So that's the lifestyle for martial arts thing again, isn't it? So your trips away are for fights or comps. It is like no, this is our family trip on the side.
Yeah.
I just don't like doing it when someone gets hurt like that. When I just came back and you did the one in Access, and that guy cranked it on your leg, and I felt like your dad. I was like telling you weren't allowed to compete anymore. I'm like, I can't tell you not to compete, but I don't think you should roll. And you're like, okay. And I went to get ice, and I came back, and you were just coming off the mat, and I was like, and I'm pretty sure I dropped I'm a little bit disappointed in you, Dan.
Yeah.
I was happy you'd won.
Brian did the dad look. He did the old dad.
But it was the injury because you'd come off the knee surgery, and the dude did a knee bar. And I yelled at him after you tried to yell at him as well.
I remember that. Brian's trying to crawl on the mat. I'll take you on, you little fucker.
No, I was on the mat. I was like, "What are you doing? Let him go!"
No, there was all a big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Which has been patched up well and truly. But yeah.
So what, you took her around to his house and say hello to him, did you?
No, he's actually one of my wrestling training partners as well. So no, that would be awkward. It was just it was a simple case of I tapped, but it was a single tap, and then it got cranked on and took me by surprise because after you tap, you kind of relax.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave everything and relaxed, and then it got cranked again because it didn't get stopped. So, But yeah, it was my knees were dodgy, and I probably shouldn't have been competing, but I hadn't competed in so long, and I'm glad I did because then we've had lockdown and shit. So I'm glad just to get into that sub only circuit, even though I was with the big boys. Probably should have been a weight class lower, but.
You did
That's
well.
all right.
You did very
mate,
well.
I've got my other bars are nearly ready, mate, for the gym. We're going to work out a bit more.
I can't reach it. I'm too high up.
hey mate, I was getting Jerry to give me a hand. So if he can help reach, then I'm pretty sure you can reach up there, mate.
Oh, I can jump up and reach it, but without the glasses on, I can't tell if I'm there or not. So I'm either going to hit it with my forearm or go flying into the wall. Like Kieran the other day trying to grab it.
Kieran, he's trying to jump up and he's trying to grab it, and there's like, then he got the medicine ball and put it down on the ground and tried to reach up and jump onto it.
It's like, like that the video game Lemmings when they used to build all the shit.
Oh, shit.
So, like, for you going forward, like in grappling, like, what do you want to do, man? Like, you have you got any goals that you want to try and achieve over the next year? I know we're not really. I mean, we've been in a lot of other countries, so we've got Dunedin no gi, Christchurch gi and no gi. We've got Queenstown gi and no gi, and then I think the day after,
weekend after.
Well, I can't remember, a week after, whatever it is. The gi nationals in New Zealand. What's your plans? Like, what do you want to do for yourself? Have you got goals for yourself?
My goals have kind of dropped off a little bit. I did want to keep the ball rolling and keep competing. And I think there's already been a couple of comps that we did plan on being involved in. And now, when Dunedin's on, that's right around baby's due date. So I think that takes me and Pax out of the Dunedin one. I've tried. Believe me, I was like, maybe just me and Pax could drive down, compete, and drive back. And I think that she thought about it, but not for very long because baby could
and he had a quick
quite young. No, I mean, honestly, if she thought that she could handle it, she'd let me go for sure. Yep. She knows. She's always been there with all my fights, all my cage fights. She's sat there.
Look, that to be honest, that's a huge thing. Like I know Soph, and just having that support behind you and everything, which whether it's jiu-jitsu, MMA, or anything you need, you know. So that's pretty awesome.
She's been there for sure, and as well, you know as well that all the time spent at training, there's got to be someone holding down the fort, especially with a family. So, with all quite different needs, quite different aged boys, demanding boys.
Yeah.
So she does well. She does bloody good. She's been there right from the start, and she's stayed involved. Travelled with the kids, with the older boy used to do a bit of judo and stuff as well. So she's travelled all for that as well. And then there's bound to be another one in a few years.
in 5 years' time, there's another one. Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. We'll think about it then.
But still, what's your plan after that? Christchurch? Do you want to compete in Christchurch then?
Christchurch. I think I'd like Pax for sure. He'll, but because it's at home, I mean, I'd like to. The reason why I started thinking twice is that over lockdown, I kept working out for about 2 weeks, and my kneecap started bloody playing up on me, and I was like, shit, why are these sore again? So they got a solid 2-3 weeks rest until I knew that they felt good, and then I started back on the mobility drills and stuff. But that's 2-3 weeks of doing not bloody much, so that adds up. So just trying to keep it steady. I think I am good to compete. Coming back after lockdown, I was a little bit red-faced in that for a bit. I think I've gotten over that again.
You're still a bloody handful on the mats. You're no picnic when you're trying to roll. So
I just try and make it as uncomfortable for the other person as possible, and if they're uncomfortable, then surely I'm more comfortable than them.
I forget about your knees sometimes. Like I think the other week, and I was sitting underneath and I was hooking your leg, and you're like, "What are you doing to my leg?" And normally you wouldn't care, and I was like, "If he's saying something, I'm being a dick." I just
you are a dick, mate. You're nearly a dick to them.
There was no dick moves there. It was just
Whoa! There's nothing about dick moves.
Well, it depends.
I was working towards it.
Yeah. As you're reaching across. It's just one of those ones. I think I think
you know what you can do and what you can't.
Yeah, pretty much, and it doesn't want to go that way still.
Yeah.
But it's so much more mobility in them now. I mean, compared to it's day and night compared to where they were. You remember me trying to come back and bloody scuff along the warm up.
Yeah, I can remember you when I got really sore knees, and then it's like poof, pass.
Yeah. Oh, we'll just roll light. Don't touch here and here and here. But I'll go 100%.
Hey, just so you know, boys, that's not actually my hundy. That's a very slowed down version of years and years of MMA. But that's the other thing too. The other boys that come from MMA, they come in for a roll and they start rolling, and you're like, holy shit, that's right. This is the pace all the bloody time, you know. And they can keep that pace up, and they'll do it till you wilt.
Bloody athletes.
I know, and I'm like, fuck, this is what I'm missing now.
Yeah. All you gotta do is get very more technical. That's all.
That's what I'm working on.
I enjoy it. I like when the young fellas come in. You know, you've got Ferg, and you've got Greg. Oh, is it Greg?
Yeah, Corey and Gary.
Gary.
Yeah.
Sorry, Corey.
Gary,
yeah, Corey and Gary. I love it when those boys come in because you've got 19, I think, 18 and 16, potentially 17. You know, those boys just want to go. And then they're just like, they're so eager. They don't care. They don't care if they get tapped. They just want to go. Once they get tapped, they just get up and they want to keep going again.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. Yeah. Carl's doing an awesome job with those young fellas. And, you know, obviously they want to get more into MMA, but they normally come down to a lot of our open mats on Saturday, making sure that their skills are honed, ask questions. What am I doing? What's happening here?
Darce track me and bail.
Yeah,
Not so long.
Oh, geez.
I'm just like, okay, he's 19 and I'm, you know, supposed to be a bit more of a vet and graded higher, and he's still fucking. Boy's got a bright future.
A lot of them do, and let's be honest, you know, you can be very good at one thing. Age is the best thing on your side. Let's be honest, you know, age is like, well, I'm 42. Bryan's nearly 40. You're 33. Yeah, to get that in, Bryan? 40?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got these 19-year-olds that all they want to do is train and smash you.
Yeah.
They don't care. Yeah, you know, 5 days a week to them's nothing, mate. I've got a full-time job. I am, as well as doing jiu-jitsu, as well as doing everything else and making sure everything else, but they don't care. They just want to train.
Because I roll them now, and they're like, oh, I'll roll no-gi. Do you mind go no-gi? Take your gi top off. I'm like, no, I'll just leave my gi top on. Because I need that to slow it down. I think they just think I'm being polite. I'm just like, no, this is fucking my safety blanket.
Traction.
Reach
around, grab your own.
I know the gi. I can use the gi.
It's awesome. It's really cool. Look, Dan, it's come to that time for us.
Choice.
Apparently, it's my.
Yeah,
I think
turn.
it's my. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
5 questions.
Yep.
5 questions. It's my turn. Okay, so we'll hit out these 5 questions. You know, they're supposed to be quick fire, but no one really does quick fire. They just answer them as they want to do.
I'll jump in at some stage and talk.
He'll jump in and interrupt me. But okay, here's a really good one for you. Which one do you like better?
Bryan or Hayden?
Oh, you bastards. Which one?
I like that one. That's a really good one. I won't go with that one though, mate. It's all right. I know you like me better. I don't want to hurt feelings.
He did
MMA or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Ooh.
Right now?
No. Which one do you like better?
Oh, in general?
Yeah.
I probably still am following a lot more MMA.
Okay, so I'm going to choke you 3 times next time you ain't training. Sweet as. No worries.
That's no different to any other training.
It's one less than usual.
3 more times.
Only 3. That's good.
Do you do anything? What do you do outside training? Do you do anything outside training?
For training?
A yoga, a supplement, a thing. What?
I take a lot of joint complex stuff.
You say you do a lot of joints.
That too.
What? Jesus.
No. I said
Are
joint
you
complex.
you're like Eddie Bravo?
I wish I was like Eddie Bravo. Shit. Although maybe not as crazy, but in a different way. No, like joint complex, like the glucosamine, chondroitin, turmeric sort of blends. I gotta dose up pretty high on those, or I
Right.
basically, yeah, my joints don't
It
like
works.
bending.
It works.
It works, man. Yeah, I just gotta keep the levels up. You know, if I get a bit slack on it, I start feeling it and know that I need to, get back on it, and also decrease in some things.
Have you tried the CBD?
Yes, I do take CBD every day. I do morning and night.
You just in a van around to your place, bro. Do a few tests.
I know it's quick fire, but I'm gonna push more on this. Do you
Oh,
find
here we go. Fucking
do you find it works?
Sorry, fellow viewers. We are going into another subject.
Overtime.
We're going down the rabbit hole. Yeah, no, I do find it works, and I originally got onto it because
Don't say any names. Don't say anything.
It's legal. It's legal.
It's not legal here actually, but even though
it's not.
It's
No, you've got to have a prescription.
It's
We're not talking about that kind of stuff.
Oh, because it's in Ireland, it's legal. Because
Not here.
Oh, really?
You've got to have a prescription. But it's
Yeah.
all right. We can carry on talking about it. We just won't mention anyone's names.
I go into stores and I'm asking about it. No wonder people fucking look twice at me.
Yeah, it's not legal yet. There hasn't been the referendum yet.
Oh, okay. Because in Ireland it's legal, and I was going to try it, but with the blood thinning medication I take, to try any other medicines, I've got to take it for fucking ages, and it's so expensive. I'm like, I don't really want to commit to that. Okay.
Oh, bro, I wouldn't have put any more shit into your system.
Yeah. We'll go more into this when it becomes legal. Okay.
Roger.
Next question.
Yeah,
okay. I didn't study the law.
Carry on. Oh, no, we want to hear about this.
Well, I believe it works. I was in a lot of pain and was going nowhere with my rehab, and so yeah, when I started taking that, things did start, finally loosening. Well, not loosening, but just getting a bit. But yeah, no, it's THC free again, Hayden.
Yeah.
THC free.
Oh yeah,
You can smoke it all day. You just get sore lungs.
Yeah.
No, it's like a liquid, like an oil.
I have no idea what you're talking about, man.
You're a liar.
It's like an eyedropper in your mouth.
No, I know. Oh, I know what you're saying.
I've heard that about you.
Yeah.
Now you've lost me. What question are we up to?
That was the third one.
That was the third one. Okay, so I've done. No.
That was second. That was the third one.
Gi or no gi?
These days, gi.
You're onto it, brother.
It did take me a long while to convince, but you got me there.
Because you can buy so many cool ones.
Understand it now. I bet your gi game's got way better now that you've done no gi. Anyway,
okay.
Last question. Do you wash your belt?
No.
I can tell by the smell and a little by the taste.
Yeah.
That's all right, mate. It's one of those hard questions.
That's two in a row.
But this
is the first belt that I haven't washed, and only because I owned a white belt for so long that I actually had to wash that belt a few times.
You washed your white
No. He doesn't wash his belt.
No, but I don't wash my belt. Since I got given a blue belt, nah.
In the last year, so you haven't washed your belt in exactly 1 year. How funny is that?
I'll take that. Man.
And just remember that. Just remember that at Overmat tomorrow.
What are you doing with that in your hand, man?
Yeah, it's my bottle opener.
Ah, Jesus.
I just haven't opened another bottle. I'm still on my first one. I don't drink very often. I don't drink very
long
much.
to get through something, man. Jesus, I've got 4 bottles over here.
I'm not even halfway through this. I'm like 200 mils. I've had loaded in a glass.
And look at you. You're terrible.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Dad.
No, that was beforehand.
Yeah.
I get better.
I get better as this shit goes on. Hey, look, Dan. Look, we want to say thank you very much for coming.
No,
we really appreciate your time. And just talking shit for an hour or so. Yeah, awesome, bro. Thank you very much for coming on.
Oos.
No, it's cool. Thanks for having me, guys. And I'll
Yeah.
see you bright and early. Oos.
Oh yeah, tomorrow. Open mat
Yeah.
training. Shit,
No,
I better
I won't
stop
be there.
drinking.
I got rugby with Stephen.
Oh
bloody hell.
bullshit! You don't have rugby tomorrow. Kids
I
don't
knew
have
you were
rugby
gonna
tomorrow,
duck
do
me.
they?
Stephen
Knew
does.
you were
Yeah.
ducking.
First game back.
Oh, you're ducking, eh?
Yeah. Backpedal, backpedal. Brian backpedal Russell. I'm just going to do this for the rest of my life.
You can turn off the recording now. Jesus Christ.
Peace out, guys.